What's up, everybody? This is Kenny Commons here of Chilling with Kenny C, right here on TMVCafe.com, bringing you entertainment to your ears. And with this being quote unquote Rocktober, I had to bring in some rock music into this particular episode. Joining me is a lady that's representing the band Seems Like Tuesday. This band is from the New Jersey area slash Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. Award nominated band. And joining me on behalf of the band is Erica. She's with me right now. How's it going?
Good, very good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Great to chat with you.
Yeah.
So obviously, we are days removed from the Josie Music Awards, and that is where I first heard of y'all. And then I started to play your music. And then boom, here we are. So
Absolutely. We appreciate the airplay and all that good stuff very much. Thanks for the support that you give independent musicians.
appreciate you, Erica. And shout out to all the fellas um off Seems Like Tuesday for their contributions
Yes.
to the band, obviously. So first things first, how did the band got together? How did Seems Like Tuesday got started?
Yeah, sure. So we all pretty much knew each other. Um, some of us have played in bands together. The majority of the band grew up on the original scene. Like I'm gonna say maybe late 80s, early 90s. I'm the young one in the group, obviously. So that's how the band came together. My husband, who's the drummer, Steve, actually made a few calls. Um, we really come from the cover world, I'll say. My husband and I were in a cover band for quite a long time, and we just wanted to get back to creating and writing and doing something that's really rewarding at the end of the day. So he made a couple calls and, players that he really wanted to be in the band that he played with before, and here we are.
All right, so obviously y'all had experience, or at least
Absolutely.
majority of y'all prior
Yeah.
to the band getting put together, and obviously you go from one band to another. It's just to use a sports team analogy, it's just a matter of everyone being on the same page
Absolutely.
and just being on board with it. And from the songs that I've played and from the songs that I've heard from y'all are a very incredible thing.
Thank you.
And when it comes to these Music Monday stuff, I try to make a balance. I try to make sure I have a female vocal representation.
Sure.
Um, get a female led band in these playlists because I felt there are some female led bands that are talented, that are good, and that need some attention. You know what I'm saying? So uh, y'all were very intriguing, and I'm glad I was able to support.
Thank
Um,
you. We appreciate
so
that.
so Erica, at least from your side of things, from your side as a musician, as a vocalist, who who do you consider some musical influences, whether it's independent acts or mainstream acts? Who inspired you as a musician and a vocalist?
Sure. So growing up in the 90s, obviously Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was pretty much like God to me. Um, that was my girl. And I mean Mariah Carey too. So I'm going to say Mariah Carey, Visions of Love, like that is my favorite. Like that was her first single out, and it's still one of my favorite tunes. And I get the chills every time I listen to it because I just remember listening to it in the bathroom, singing into my brush in the mirror, which I still do sometimes, I'm not going to lie. Um, And then I'm going to say 2000s, I really got into. My dad took me to Huey Lewis in the News, Joan Jett, Pat Benatar, Janis Joplin. So I'm really now, as I got older, into all different types of music and different genres. But growing up, like where the heart is, definitely the R&B side of me. Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey for sure.
So yeah, I'm an '80s baby, and got into the '90s. In that, I would argue with anybody that that's one of the best decades of music.
Absolutely.
And yeah, there were some power vocalists, Whitney and Mariah. I even put Mary J. Blige in there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And just a plethora. It was just a powerhouse of woman with,
Yeah,
when you hear their voice, you felt it.
absolutely.
Like you was gonna get the feels.
And
It,
you literally believed every word that was coming out of their mouth. I mean,
yeah.
they could captivate you. I would even say, not that she was my favorite, but Christina Aguilera too. I have a respect for her because that woman can sing. Still to this day, she can. Not not in my, I'll say not my top five, but she was another one on the circuit in that area around that time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
well, without the Mariahs and the Whitneys, there is no Christina,
exactly.
and
Exactly.
there is no art, there is no Ariana Grande,
Absolutely.
who is clearly influenced
Yeah,
by that decade with
absolutely.
that singing voice of hers.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, a woman, look, they won the world.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's like what those votes, what those even fellas have to be like, man, they got it, man. Like
Yeah.
if you don't get somewhat emotional listening to those artists at that particular time, I say either you check your pulse
Yeah.
or be around people that feels a certain way. It's just,
Absolutely.
you know, yeah.
Absolutely. But then you have Steve Perry. Like he's another one. I didn't grow up with him. That was like later in the 90s for me, but he's another one. I mean, from a male vocalist perspective, unreal. Unreal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to hear stories as far as not just the band stories, the traveling, more specifically the band name itself. Seems like Tuesday. Um, I want to know the story behind how did y'all gather? How did y'all got into cohesiveness and saying that's the name of our band? Who came up with the idea? How did it came about?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, we were all looking for something super original. Um, we even did some research on the internet. Every time each one of us had an idea, we double check and see if there was another band, either an independent band that was local or somebody out there who had the name. And we wanted something super unique. So we practice on Tuesdays, and my husband just kind of came up with the Seems Like Tuesday after doing some research. The first choice he came up with was Tuesday Night Music Club, but that was a Sheryl Crow album.
Oh,
Yeah. So we just all agreed on Seems Like Tuesday.
and here I am interviewing the vocalist of a Tuesday named band on a
Yeah. On a
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Some things just work out the way
Absolutely.
it's
But then
just
you get then you get the cornballs who are like, we ran into somebody on Sunday and my husband and I, and we had our 50th anniversary for our high school. And one of the guys was like, yeah, it's a Sunday, but all of a sudden it seems like Tuesday. And we're like, oh my God. it was just one of those things. I'm like, please don't say that.
So that was actually going to be my next question because with a name like that, you're going to get hit with the puns.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
and so, did it bother y'all at first? Did y'all just laugh along? I mean, at least from your perspective, I mean, how do you react to when people like to come at you with the puns? Like, how do you really feel about it?
It doesn't, it's not like serious. I know they're just like, messing around. Um, I just I just take it. I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'm like, maybe we did it to ourselves. Um, but at the same time, it keeps them thinking, you know. So that's part of why we named it what we named it, so that folks remember it. But yeah, I just let that slide right off my back. But I kind of rolled my eyes on Sunday. I'm like, oh, of course. Of course.
Man, it be like that sometimes.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Especially at the weekends, it hits different. And then that Monday rolls around. Oh man, back to work. Yeah, that's,
Absolutely.
that's tough.
It is. It is.
Um, man, so you got a lot of incredible tracks here on the catalog here. I think so far I played Wasted Summer and On the Move,
Yes.
and I've played Wasted Summer just before the end of the summer.
Oh, nice.
So I had to squeeze that in there on the playlist. I definitely enjoyed the track. The latest single from SLT is Sunlight Blinds. That came out October the 12th, a couple weeks back. Talk about that song. How did what's the meaning behind the song?
Yeah, sure. So, that was actually brought in by Billy Zioli, our male vocalist. We all fell in love with the song. We rearranged a few things. That's really about helping people at the end of the day. I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch our music video, but you'll see a spot in there where, there's a couple, homeless people or folks that need help. So it's that type of song, just helping people at the end of the day. So
Check out the song Sunlight Blinds for Scenes Like Tuesday, available on all streaming platforms. So check them out. Such an incredible band. I'm glad that I get to play them on my show. And yeah, y'all keeping me busy with these songs for sure.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
on the move, because the night, note to myself. I like, I think, yeah, that's you on the album cover, just writing on the
Yeah,
notepad or
yeah.
book. So yeah, it seems self-explanatory. But what was that? What was it like writing that song note to myself?
Yeah, so that's another one that was actually brought in by Billy. And, from scratch, he brought that in and then it was arranged by all of us. We'll add different things. And if the song gets boring, let's say, we'll mix it up. We'll throw something in the middle. And if you listen to that song, you could hear where we kind of did like I don't want to call it like an alien type vibe, but we made it very like spooky-esque. Um, then brought in the guitar solo and then went right back to it before the last couple choruses. So, our music video is out for that as well. So all of the songs, Kenny, that you have access to, our music videos are available on YouTube for all of them. And then obviously we're on Spotify, Apple Music, all streaming platforms. And we actually have, just to talk about a few things that are coming up. So, November 22nd is our next single that's coming out called In Time. That's another Billy Zioli hit. And that's really like the rocker of Seems Like Tuesday. That's very rockish. So that's coming out. And then we're actually hoping to release our next EP in early winter of 2025. So, and then obviously anybody that we interview with, we'll keep you posted with everything that's, going on. And we have a lot of gigs booked, which is great. We have three or four left for the remainder of the year. And then 2025, we're super excited for a lot of the festivals that we're doing. So,
Awesome. So next single coming next month, slightly about a month from now, November 22nd. And then EP right around, you know, winter-ish 2025. So, so y'all definitely got a lot of things lined up to end the year of 2024 and the start of 2025. So y'all keeping things going. Y'all had an incredible year with the songs that y'all put out, music videos that y'all put out, the award nominations, obviously, from this
yes.
past weekend's Josie Music Awards. Um, so looking back in 2024, um, how do you feel about the year with everything that has happened with y'all, with everything that's just transpired? How do you feel about seeing like Tuesday's year of 2024?
Yeah, absolutely. So we released our first EP in 2024 in February. Um, had a major event. We had a lot of people come out and support us, and we played for about maybe 2 hours. A lot of fun. Again, a lot of support. We cannot thank our friends, our family, other musicians in the community that came out to support us. It was great. Um, and I think overall, Kenny, just being able to put music out there that we truly believe in, and then having the respect of other musicians in the area and other musicians overseas. I mean, we have come across and met a lot of great people. So I think for me, being able to, network and meet other people. And, we were just introduced to somebody else who we actually just signed a management deal with Grace Musicians Management Group, who's helping us with our booking for 2025. So being able to just really come across support as a whole, I would say that's overall how I look at 2024.
That's very encouraging, especially for an independent band like y'all being able to do the things that y'all do. And while, people craving for that mainstream deal, it's not always what it's cracked up to be.
Sure.
And once you get to that deal, then all that creative freedom that y'all have, depending on which label that you sign to, is out the window.
Yeah.
With independent, you could do what you want. You can do it at your own terms. You can put
Yeah.
out the way that you want to do it. There's no middleman. There's no A&R.
Right.
There's no scheme behind it. It's literally coming from y'all. And the fact that y'all get the support, y'all do these incredible things. Um, I love independent music. I've always had. I love the fact that the music is coming from the artists themselves, coming out of their money, coming out of the hard working, the
Yeah.
countless days of writing and
Yeah.
studio time
Hmm.
and the sacrifices that comes along with it. Um, So, Seems Like Tuesday had an incredible 2024, and, you know, 2025 looks like things are going to get even better.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm
And
very,
that's our goal. That's our goal, to be better every year. And to your point, it is a lot of hard work. Original music being in that segment, I'll say, is super hard. I mean, especially with getting in specific places to play. Not every bar or casino or, whatever may not welcome original music. You always have to play covers to get in, which we do. We will do that to get into a venue. We'll play covers on an as needed basis. But overall, our heart is definitely with our original music. So it is a lot of hard work.
yes, it is. And, you know, the original music thing from these bars, from these venues, they have their um they have their way of things, trying to fill the seats up or fill the building up. And I get it. But man, like if you just give these original acts a chance, like at least give them a shot to show what they can do. People complain about music, and but they don't know what's out there unless
Exactly. Exactly.
you give them a chance. There's a
Yeah.
lot of talented original act artists that really, put in the work for these original music. And,
Mhm.
these, obviously venues, they have a lot of say in this, but, going into 2025, maybe I'm just a little fan. I'm a nobody, but I do go to these shows. I hear the covers. I hear the original music, and quite honestly, I feel like people enjoy original just as much as the covers,
Yeah.
especially so unique coming from your perspective, coming from past experiences, whether it's you or somebody else that you know and love. It's music is relatable, brings
Yeah.
people together, and holding hands and whatnot, and just whatever we're going through, it goes away. Music is definitely quite the escape.
Absolutely.
So
It's my,
also,
I call it my stress release. When I'm on stage, like that's my safe zone when I'm
so
on stage.
so with that being said, you as a performer, you take pride of the performance in front of a
Absolutely.
crowd, get
Absolutely.
get the feeling from the crowd.
Yep.
Especially the ladies, because you do represent for the ladies now.
Absolutely.
So, that what's that feeling like going to that stage and performing and then doing intermission or after the show, you got people coming up to you and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I love your act. I love your set. It's incredible." With everything, all the stress that you go through, it feels like it has to be worth it when you hear positive, reactions like that.
Absolutely. It's literally, I'll just put it this way. It's literally like hitting the lottery over and over again because that's pretty much what we strive for, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Um, I will say also, like thanks to you and all of the other radio stations and online radio streaming platforms and all of that, there are so many female artists out there that I have come across and the respect, like just on social media, we really support each other. It's great to see. It really is.
Yeah, very, very satisfying.
Yeah,
I've done the Music Monday jukebox for this is the third year, and like the biggest challenge that I've had is just literally looking for female-led vocal or female-led bands.
sure.
Um, and I do look around, I ask people around, And now the Josie Music Awards has become my cheat sheet now, the nominees at least. So I
Yeah,
look around, start listening to a couple songs here and there, and I got friends. I live in Kentucky. I got friends that were nominated as well. So, yeah, there is a lot of talented female acts out there. So this is my last question for you. As
sure.
far as female led bands, you know, a guy like me, I listen to Joan Jett, I listen to No Doubt, I listen to Evanescence. So that's mostly on the mainstream side. Then I'm really hearing a lot from the female independent artists, especially in my city, here in Lexington. Got a lot of good talent here. So
Okay.
how do you feel about, you know, how do you feel about female bands in general as far as opportunities, maybe equal opportunities? You feel like as far as independent artists, you feel like they're getting the respect here and there from your perspective, or you feel like there's more work to be done? Like, how are you feeling about the female led artists that you see that performs?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think we're in a good spot now. I feel, and just from growing up with the Joan Jetts of the world and the Pat Benetars, they really kind of set the tone. And then, like you mentioned, no doubt. I think about Paramore. So I love Paramore.
Yeah.
They're another band that I truly admire. I think we are well respected. Absolutely. Definitely. We're pretty much welcomed with open arms. And I think the good thing too, Kenny, and I'm sure you heard from like On the Move, our song. It's not just like I'm the female lead singer, but we have three vocalists to kind of switch it up, to keep people engaged. Our bass player also sings now, the drummer, Steve, he sings now. So we really make sure that we keep it interesting. So I just wanted to mention that too.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Everybody gets a piece of the pie. Seems like
absolutely.
everybody,
Absolutely.
even the drummer.
And this girl needs a break sometime. So yes, absolutely.
I can fully understand, respect that, you
Yeah.
know, and then the fact that everybody else is willing to get themselves heard musically,
Absolutely.
it's all part of what makes Sing Like Tuesday very unique. So check them out, Sing Like Tuesday. They are on the streaming music platforms. Be on the lookout for the next song on the 22nd of November. You can pre-order that right now if you haven't already. Pre-order things like that. And also, they are on social media, on Facebook and on Instagram. Seems like Tuesday. They'll keep you updated on the music and the upcoming shows. Be on the lookout for the next EP coming in early 2025. So yeah, check them out. Erica, so good to chat with you on a Tuesday, no pun
Same
intended.
here. Thank you so much.
So
It wouldn't mean anything if it wasn't on a Tuesday.
yeah. So good to have you. Tell the fellas I said hello
Well,
and you enjoy your upcoming holidays and rest of the year. And I look forward to seeing what y'all have in store in 2025. And of course, congrats on the award nominations for the Josie Music
yeah.
Awards as
Thank
well.
you so much. Thank you for having me.
Great chatting with you. You have a good night.
You too. Take care.
All right. Bye bye.
Thanks.